on blue, I'm making pigs fly, now I move mountains. I would have beaten the heart of a crash test dummy, I'm more so astounded. Yeah. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I do the impossible, impossible.
Tonight, from the Superdome in New Orleans, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Andy Dalton and the New Orleans Saints taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the venerable Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a 3-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
Dalton right to the air. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. To throw here, Dalton. And his throw is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They run once more with Edwards. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football.
Touchdown! Devin Duvernay, 36 yards. And the Ravens will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. Dalton bootlegs out. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Here's Blake Gillikin now. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Pulled in at the 24. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. There's Robinson showing the flash. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Again, it's Edwards. David Onyemata there on the tackle.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw is on target to Duvernay.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Here's Jackson to throw. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Steps away. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a...
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Devin Duvernay
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You've just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, it's Dalton.
There's Chris Olave. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. Nifty move.
A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep, and he'll take this one down to the 36.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 14. A good pickup there, a 22.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. He's got it.
And the Ravens are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Again, Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Ravens have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance to stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but fortunately the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
Andy Dalton. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. This offense returns to the field, led by Devin Duvernay at wide receiver.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Up the middle, it's Edwards. Room here to run.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Dancing to his left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. From the gun, Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Play action. It's Jackson. Man open is Robinson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, 29 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game, throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Tucker with the extra point, and it is 28-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. He'll get it inside the 20.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Up the middle, here's Edwards. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Gus Edwards.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Ravens have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the fourth. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Houston, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. The front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. And Dalton to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Travis Jones, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Steps away, and he's going to go down again. Justin Houston, the offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
Well, have a game, sir, why don't you? A sack earlier and an exclamation point here late in the game, and this one won by his side of the ball. They played so well, surprised he didn't get his 2nd sack earlier.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
We're up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jackson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now it's Jackson. And it's caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Washington now brings this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
1st and 10 for Dalton.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. from the 41. Dalton. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From New Orleans, good night, everybody.